Buenos días. Es el miércoles y son las 12. It's Wednesday, it's 12 o'clock, so it's time for our second Community Spanish of the week, broadcasting live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12. We also have our children's programming every day. 10:30, we have children's French, and 11 o'clock, children's Spanish. So tune in for those of you with families, tune in for those. We also have coming up, starting next week, we're going to be bringing Community French live. So we're constantly looking to see if we can expand our live lesson opportunities. So keep an eye out for that if that's something that would be useful for you or someone you know who you can recommend it to. My usual reminder, so please like, comment, and share on the videos so we know what's working well for you and what else you might want to learn. I'm also posting all of our videos up on our website on the Rola Languages Facebook Live webpage. So all the videos are organized there and posted, and we have some additional little exercises for you to do. So if you want to get a little bit more practice besides just watching the video, you're welcome to check them out there and get some practice, and of course pass them around to anyone else who you think might need some help. One last reminder before I get into the content for today is that it is, since the first week of June, there are still some opportunities to jump into June classes if you'd like to. We have some classes even still starting next week, so you won't even necessarily have missed the first class depending on which one you want to join. But there is some flexibility, so if you want to join a class that started this week, most likely you can do it. So please feel free to reach out to us either by email at info@rolalanguages.com or just go to the website. You can see all the class schedules there and the registration form, including I want to do a special plug for both a Groupon deal. I have mentioned in my past couple of videos that we're running a special on the 6-week classes for beginner intro 1 level. So that's definitely a great way to get yourself started on learning a new language and doing it at an affordable cost. And also we have our intensives coming up this next week, which is another way for you to get started on language, because there's also intro 1 level, and you can basically cover all the basics of that level in 10 days. So you're meeting each day, Monday through Friday, for 1 hour, and then so in 2 weeks you've knocked out a whole level. So it's a great way to get yourself started and take advantage, if you're able to do so at this time, of going to a class every day, which you might not otherwise been able to do in other times. So we have those programs going on. So now, without further ado, let me get into the content for today's video. So as I've been doing for the past few videos, I kind of unit on different kind of preposiciones, or prepositions in Spanish. So we're going to add another group to our already existing group of words that will help us to really kind of connect all the parts of our sentences. And as I've been saying, these prepositions, while they're in general really short, small words, there's something that we need for all levels of Spanish, whether you're a beginner or advanced speaker. We all need prepositions. So this is hopefully very useful, kind of foundational material for everyone. So I'm going to get into my next group of words for today, and they're maybe a little bit more towards intermediate level prepositions, so it's a little bit more difficult, we can say, but again, super useful to everyone. So let's get going on that. I'm going to share the page with you so you can see kind of what we have ahead of us today. So we have about 5 that we're planning to cover in today's mini class. So you can see these 5. I'm going to give you some examples. I think particularly as some of these prepositions are quite simple in that they have only one English word as their translation, but other ones are a little bit more complex and they maybe translate to several different English words. So this is where these example sentences come really in handy to have us understand really how we use these prepositions. And so these example sentences can be something that, if you're a memorizer, something that you can memorize to see it in context, how we use these words. So let's get going. Our first preposition we have here is sobre. Sobre, I did mention in a past video, but just to kind of expand on it now. So sobre, in our past video, we learned about sobre as meaning kind of like on top of something, and it is that, but it has some more meanings as well. And I think probably the most common way we would translate sobre into English is going to be about, the word about, and we can see that in some different contexts about what this means. But again, it's a little bit more kind of fluid of a word. So in our first example for sobre, it says the hora aproximada, so kind of an approximate time. So for example, voy a llegar sobre las 10 de la mañana So I'm going to arrive at about or around 10 o'clock. So it's kind of when you have a general ballpark time, but you're not saying it's necessarily going to be 10 o'clock on the dot, but it's around 10 o'clock or about 10 o'clock. So voy a llegar sobre las 10 de la mañana. Okay, so next one we can also use sobre is for tema or a topic, a theme. El profesor está hablando sobre la Segunda Guerra Mundial. The professor, the teacher, is talking about World War II. So again, this is one we most often use when we're talking about a topic. You know, what is this about? Or someone wants to say, what's the book about? What is the movie about? We're going to use sobre in those cases. And the last one is the one that we saw in a previous video with meaning encima de or on top of. This one's more of a location preposition meaning. Las lámparas están sobre la mesa de la cocina. The lamps are on the kitchen table. Okay, so this is one that should be a bit familiar for those of you who maybe saw that previous video. So that's sobre in a nutshell. Next one we have is the word con. This one is a bit more simple than sobre. It really only translates to the word with in English. So for example, the first case, compañía de personas, so being in the company of people, saying who's with you. Los abuelos irán con sus nietos al zoológico. So the grandparents will go with their grandchildren to the zoo. So it says who is included in your group. So that's again pretty simple. Next one we have is the unión de cosas. So things being together, this with that. So quiero un té con leche. I want a tea with milk. Again, combination. Next one we have is an instrumento or the uso, the use, the way we use something. Con esta carne es mejor cortarla con este cuchillo. With this meat, it's better to cut it with this knife. Again, using it with this by this method, with this tool. Okay, and now next one is kind of actually a similar thing, but it's a little bit more figurative rather than literal, like using the knife. But medio para conseguir alguna cosa, con mucho estudio, puedes aprender español. With a lot of study, you can use Spanish. So this one I think is actually pretty similar to the last one in terms of something you use in order to accomplish something. Now, in the past example, this was a kind of a physical thing. Now, this one is more like a figurative thing, but it's the same kind of theme. So that's how we can use con, and to say who we're with, or how things are going together, or what you use to do something. Okay, so that's con. And then its opposite of con is sin. Sin is without. So again, con is with, sin is without. So this example, privación, ese hombre está sin conocimiento. That man is without knowledge. So he's not very intelligent. Okay, this is just an example. So sin we can use, but it's not one we use a lot. So this one is kind of in terms of, again, as I've talked about in previous videos, I know we have limited space in our mind, and especially when we're trying to learn groups of words at a time, we have to prioritize what are the most important words. And so I would say in terms of this list that we're learning today, sin, you can put that kind of lower on the priority list. It's still useful, but it's a little, I think you use it a little less often than some of the other words we're talking about today. All right, dos más, two more to go in our little list before we get practice, of course, as we do every time. So we have the word contra. Contra means against. Okay, so this one again, also pretty simple in terms of its translation, just one word. So first one, for oposición, mi equipo juega contra el tuyo. My team plays against yours. Simple. Okay. Or the next one, inclinación, like leaning. So el sofá está contra la pared. The sofa is against the wall. Okay. So this one, for example, if you're looking for an everyday time, you might see this. Maybe on the subway, for example, they might have signs on the door saying like, don't lean, like in English, don't lean on the doors. And in Spanish, you might see them use the word contra for this translation to say like, don't lean on the subway doors because they might, open and you fall out. So just kind of keeping an eye out for maybe everyday usage of Spanish that you might see. That's a place where we might see something with including contra. So that's contra. Now, for our last one, we have the word hacia. So hacia in general is best translated as toward or towards, in the direction of something. So that's why it says dirección o destino. So for example, estamos manejando hacia el noroeste. So we are driving towards the northwest. Okay, so again, we're traveling in that direction. Okay, so that's what hacia means. Again, pretty simple in terms of its translation. So just to recap, we have the word sobre, which I think is probably our most versatile in terms of different meanings and also most used of this group. Sobre, then we have con, then we have sin, and contra, and hacia. So those are the 5 prepositions that we're learning today. So now let's, of course, get to the practice. That's the most important part. So I'm going to, as usual, I'm going to do an exercise with you all in our video today. And then I'm going to post another one up on the website along with the recording of the video. So if you want to get some extra practice, if you want to rewatch the video, it will all be there on the Facebook Live page on our website. So rolalanguages.com. So let's do some practice together. Feel free to put in the comments your responses and see if we're kind of on the right track together. So we have to choose a way to finish all of these sentences. So I'm just going to write, just so I have it kind of easy to see, I'm going to write on the side our list of prepositions so you can remember what we have for our choices. So we have sobre, con, sin, hacia, and contra. So these are our choices. So now we have to see how we can finish a sentence. Again, please feel free to write in the comments what you think and see if we can answer the questions right together. So we have, let's see, so número 1, we have blank, ¿qué vas a hacer tu tesis? So blank, what are you going to do your thesis? Okay, so we have to say sobre qué, con qué, sin qué, hacia qué, or contra qué. So what do you think? What could be the right option? So for this one, we're going to choose sobre. Again, we want to know, what is your thesis going to be about? Okay, so we want to know the topic. This is the one we saw in the categories. That would be tema, the topic. So we'll answer this one or finish this question with sobre. So sobre qué vas a hacer tu tesis? What are you going to do your thesis about? Ok, muy bien. Número 2, estoy blank, dinero en efectivo. Okay, I am blank, and dinero en efectivo means cash. Okay, like cash money. So, so we can say estoy sobre dinero, estoy con dinero, estoy sin dinero, estoy hacia dinero, o estoy contra dinero. So what do you think? What makes the most logical sense? Estoy sobre, estoy con, estoy sin, estoy hacia, estoy contra. Most likely what we're talking about in this case is we're saying, I don't have any, right? Like this is a problem. I don't have any cash on me. So estoy sin, again, remember sin means without, estoy sin dinero en efectivo. So we don't have any cash. Oops. Okay, número 3. El gato está saltando blank el sofá. Okay, so the cat is jumping blank the sofa. So again, contra el sofá, hacia el sofá, sin el sofá, con el sofá, o sobre el sofá. Most likely the cat is jumping on the sofa. So sobre el sofá. Okay, número 4. So el sillón debe ubicarse blank la pared. El sillón is like a big armchair. Debe ubicarse, like must be located. Okay, then we have blank, la pared, the wall. Okay, so sobre la pared, con la pared, sin la pared, hacia la pared, contra la pared. So we have different options here. Now, based on the example, if we remember from above, with the inclinación, with things when they're leaning, we should use contra. So el sillón debe ubicarse contra la pared. The armchair should be located against the wall. Okay, número 5. We're almost a third of the way done. So número 5. Ellos dicen que pueden contar blank él para hacer el trabajo. Okay, so they say that they can count blank him to do the work. This one is a little bit challenging actually because it's a little bit of an expression. So in English, we would say you count on someone, but in Spanish, the expression is actually a little different. We should use, and this was an extra not included in our list from above, but we would say contar con. So this is just an expression. We have to know it in Spanish. There's not necessarily a kind of explanation behind it. is just to say that this expression to count in English, we say to count on someone. In Spanish, we say contar con una persona, okay? So that's how we should finish this sentence. So they say that we can count on him to do the work, okay? So número 6, let's see. So we have su actitud me hace enfadar blank él, okay? So we have his attitude makes me mad. Okay, and so then we have him, so we can figure out how to answer. So this one we can put, this one we have a couple of choices we could choose for this. So say, I'm again in English, I'm mad at him, okay? So we can say, I think contra is the most common one we say in Spanish, again, to say we are mad at someone is enfadar contra una persona. But if you said con, they would still understand what you mean. But I think contra is actually technically the right way to say you're mad at someone in Spanish. Okay. Okay. 7. Es peligroso viajar en automóvil blank cinturón de seguridad. Es peligroso. It's dangerous. Okay. It's dangerous to travel in a car blank a seatbelt. So what do you think? Sobre cinturón, con cinturón, sin cinturón, hacia cinturón, contra con cinturón. This one's going to be, again, it's dangerous to travel, so we should say sin cinturón. It's dangerous to travel without a seatbelt. Okay, muy bien. Next one we have is número 8. Ellos siempre se enojan, blank, motivo. Okay, ellos se enojan. Se enojan is just like enfadar, to get mad. So they always get mad, blank motivo. So we would try to translate this in English as they get mad for no reason. Okay. So again, we have to massage this a little to make it work well in Spanish. So es se enojan sin motivo. Okay. So they always get mad like without a reason, for no reason, we would say in English. So sin motivo. Okay. Número 9. En la tarde voy a trabajar, blank, parar. So in the afternoon, I'm going to work, blank, stopping. So again, sobre parar, con parar, sin parar, hacia parar, or contra parar. I see, Carol, you got it. It's sin parar. I'm going to work without stopping. Muy bien. Okay, número 10. We're 2/3 of the way there. Número 10. María ahora está mejor. Está acostada, blank, la cama. Okay, so Maria is feeling better now. She is awake. Sorry, she is asleep. She's going to bed. She's going to bed. So what do we think? Sobre la cama, con la cama, sin la cama, hacia la cama, contra la cama. Think sobre, like so she's laying out on the bed, right? Okay, sobre la cama. Muy bien. All right, 5 more to go, last 5, and then we'll wrap it up. So, número 11, blank, una buena educación, el país no va a mejorar. So, blank, good education, the country will not improve, will not get better. So, basically, we're trying to say, like, if we don't have this thing, the country won't get better. So, again, if we don't have it, it would be sin. So, sin una buena educación, without a good education, the country will not improve. Okay, sin. Okay, well, a lot of sin in this exercise. All right, 12. Voy a quedar blank, Raquel, para ir a la playa. So I am going to stay or like be with, hang out, Raquel to go to the beach. So again, we're talking about being in her company. So as we remember from above, if it's company, we should use con. Voy a quedar con Raquel para ir a la playa. I'm going to stay with Raquel to go to the beach. Okay. Muy bien. Just 3 more to finish up. Hacer las cosas, blank, pasión, es el único camino correcto. Doing things, blank, passion, is the only good way, the only correct way to do something. So what do you think we're likely to be saying here? Sobre pasión, con pasión, sin pasión, hacia pasión, or contra pasión? This one, we're going to be saying con. So doing things with passion is the only, like basically the only way to do it. So hacer las cosas con pasión. Okay. All right. Dos más. Last two. Mi postre preferido es torta blank mucho dulce de leche. So my favorite dessert is cake blank a lot of dulce de leche. There's not really a good translation of dulce de leche in English. It's a kind of condensed milk caramel thing. So very delicious. Okay. So this one, again, we're talking about the combination, the union of two things like we had in our reasons above, té con leche. So this is going to be torta con mucho dulce de leche. Muy bien. All right, last one, número 15. Él va a pelear blank su rival más importante en años. So he is going to fight blank his rival, his most important rival in years. So again, we're talking about an opposition. So we're going to use contra. So he's going to fight against his rival. Él va a pelear contra su rival más importante en años. Okay, muy bien. I know that was a lot of information, a lot of choices. So just to review quickly for today, so we talked about the prepositions sobre, con, sin, hacia, and contra. So we can add those onto our list of prepositions that we've been slowly growing over my preposition series. If you want to get any more practice, I'm going to be posting up later this week another exercise to practice more with these prepositions. So you can kind of keep the ball rolling, keep your momentum going, and keep adding onto your prepositions that are going to help you to fill out all of your sentences and help connect everything as you need. So I will next see everyone on Friday and el viernes, and for our last community Spanish of this week. And they said, in the meantime, feel free to tune into the children's material every day. So children's French at 10:30, children's Spanish at 11. And as I said, keep an eye out as we're going to be hopefully premiering our community French lessons starting next week. So we have a lot of new content coming for you. Gracias y adiós.